Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week, and it was a pretty big week for me. Got 10 comics, including this one, which I should have got last week, but my shop was shorted. Pencilhead, issue number 1, a mostly true 5-issue series about the whacked-out world of comic books. Ted McKeever, he's always got some crazy stuff. And I actually just saw a really bad review of this on, the Pete's Basement Show. Ramon didn't really like it. He wasn't interested in the whacked-out world of Ted McKeever trying to get his comic books done, but I am. That's up my alley. But I can understand people not liking it because I was never a fan of like those inside Hollywood movies that were movies about making movies, but comics about making comics I'm interested in. So I put this on my pull list because I've been buying all Ted McKeever series for the last couple of years, or both of them. I think he had 2 series I bought before this. Superannuated Man and what was the other one? Miniature Jesus. So, and those were both Golden Age size. This one is regular comic book size. But there it is, Pencilhead, number 1. Next, we have East of West, number 24. It's issue 24. You should know this one by now. I won't open to those giant white pages, I swear. Oh, looks like there's some sort of monster action in this one. Looks like a violent, with been lots of talking and, I don't know, what are those crazy creatures? What is Batman in this issue? Lots of talking and politicking the last couple issues. They had an attempted assassination. There was one whole issue dedicated to an attempted assassination. But, enjoyed this book since the beginning. East of West is a really good read. You can pick it up collected or in giant deluxe edition formats and any way you want. It's a good book. Give it a read. And here we go with Outcast, issue number 15, All Alone Now. The priest or reverend or father, I forget which denomination he is, that our hero here has been helping him out since the beginning. Went and got himself arrested for beating up a demon or something. Outcast is a solid book. Story about people getting possessed. At least I think they really haven't committed to any one particular denomination of villain kind of thing. So you don't know if they're demons or heck, they could be they're any sort of mythical creature. They really haven't nailed that down yet. Maybe they are demons, and maybe like in The Walking Dead, they never call them zombies. Maybe in this one, they never call them demons. I don't know. But either way, it's a solid story. Enjoy an Outcast. And here we have Deadly Class, issue number 18. Die for Me, part 2. What is more fun than Deadly Class? There's not many books as fun and well done. It's graduation day for the high school of assassins, and half the class is trying to kill the other half of the class. And our hero is one of the... Turns out that there's a bunch of losers in the high school, and the losers are there to die during final exams. And the hero of our book is one of the losers, so he's trying to survive. It's just a good book. The artist's name just escaped me again. I just love the art in this book. It's driving me crazy that I can't remember his name. Is it anywhere? Craig. Wes Craig, that's it, right? Rick Remender, Wes Craig. Wes Craig's art on this book. Wes Craig's art on this book was what got me to pick it up initially. I think it was the first issue or two the first issue I picked up, and I wasn't terribly interested in it because it's such a dumb-sounding concept. High school for assassins. I mean, that's just too Harry Potter for me. But Wes Craig's art, just flipping through it, reminded me a lot of Steranko layouts. And he's just such a really good storyteller that I ended up buying that first issue. Look at that. There's some Frank Miller-esque layouts. He's just such a good storyteller. He does such a nice job with the art that I've enjoyed Deadly Class a whole lot. You should check this one out. And Monstrous number 3. I almost missed out on Monstrous number 3 because I get an email on final order cutoff on which is like Mondays a month or a month and a week before the book is due. And like a new book, I'll order month to month. So it's like I put issue 1 of Monstrous on my pull list, then I put issue 2 on my pull list, and usually if I like it then, I put the whole series on my pull list. Somehow I forgot to do that for Monstrous. But luckily it's been my comic shop, doesn't order a ton extra of the indies especially. So if I don't, have it on my pull list, I usually never see it, except for Monstrous has been a big hit for it. So they've ordered some extra issues of it. So I managed to get it in issue 3. That was good. Otherwise, they'd have to back order it for me. Very well-developed world. This sort of fantasy world of magic people fighting each other, and I just enjoy Monstrous. I've enjoyed the first 2 issues. The first issue was 3 issues in long. So I don't know. Does anybody know if Monstrous is a miniseries or something? Because he put it on my pull list when I was at the store today, and he said only issue 4 is solicited. Usually there should be a couple after it by now, unless it's taken a hiatus, because issue 4 will really be issue 6, since issue 1 was 3 issues long. But I hope Monstrous is an ongoing, because I don't think they're going to wrap this up in 2 more issues, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I never know with some of these Image books. And Revival, issue number 36. I just take Revival for granted now. It's just 36 issues in, I'm just like, oh, an issue of Revival. I don't get really excited about it because it's been regular. That's weird with comic books. I mean, I like it. I've enjoyed the story. I look forward to every issue. I was disappointed to hear it's ending this year. I don't know with what issue 40-something. But it's funny how you can... this is why a higher number comic books sometimes can if people are buying just off the racks and not on a pull list, people can just grow disinterested through familiarity. Because I really like Revival, but being that it's been around and steady, I take it for granted. But I have every issue, and I'm going to continue to get it. Then we've got Saga, number 33. I think another book that people are taking for granted, like it's always been there and it'll always be there. But Saga's been good, of course. It's probably much better known than Revival. Wow, some nice drawing in this one. But they started a new storyline a couple of months ago, and it's going on. They time skipped ahead from when... Geez, I don't even know the lead character's name, because the lead character was a baby for the first 30 issues, and now she's in kindergarten. So they did the old a baby as a character isn't that interesting, even though she was the narrator. So now she can get involved with the story, and Saga's as good as ever. I got no complaints about Saga. It'll keep being on my pull list. And here is Savage Dragon, number 211. First issue in a bold new direction. So jump on this one if you've never read any Savage Dragon. Looks like Malcolm Dragon has joined the police force, like his father. The first, 190 issues of this book were about Savage Dragon, this guy right here, Malcolm Dragon's father. But since the book takes place in real time, it's been, his father is 20 years older than when the book started in 1992 or something. And so he ended up being written out of the story, and his son took over. And when the story began, the original Savage Dragon was a police officer in the Chicago Police Department. And his son, who just graduated high school and just got married, his marriage was 2 issues ago. His honeymoon was last issue. Fought some monsters on his honeymoon. Oh, that's his father. His father is actually in jail and all skinny. He lost all his superpowers. There's father. His son is in the uniform there, and there's the original Savage Dragon in the orange jumpsuit. So I guess he's taking the book back to his roots with now Malcolm Dragon, Savage Dragon II, joining the police force. It's always... If you like superhero comics, Savage Dragon is always a solid superhero comic, and Eric Larson's love for the whole comic book medium usually shows through in these issues, because he's very creative with it. He's created his own whole little world and continuity, And it's good stuff. Savage Dragon, 211, jump on now. And look at this, it's the Southern Bastards in baby blue. This book has been about a small town full of corruption and high school football. It's kind of the dark side of everyday life. Look at that shot, wow. The dark side of everyday life in this small town. That's Coach Boss. They keep doing little stories about different people in town, and it's just a solid, enjoyable book. I always look forward to Southern Bastards. The title pretty much says it all. If you want to read a story about Southern Bastards, check this one out. And our final book this week is Beauty, issue number 6. Looks like he's showing you his heart in a literal manner as he tears open his chest. This book has been pretty interesting. It started out kind of as a police procedural, more than anything conceptual. Now it's turned onto that in a disease kind of book, and beauty's hard to describe, except there's this STD that you can catch that makes you beautiful. But then it turns out, they find out 3 or 4 years later, that it's going to kill you. And the lead character is a police officer who's investigating this whole thing, and there's conspiracies and pharmaceutical companies wanting to make money and all sorts of stuff. But looks like I got an alternate cover, too. Wonder who did that cover. But anyway, The Beauty's a solid book. Whoops, don't drop it. Check this one out. Finally, we'll give you a little look at my background art. There's a couple more of my faux comic book covers. Dreams of Things, issue number 1. That's sort of my... I'm gonna write some blurbs to go with this stuff. Just sort of, these are both done in India ink and marker. Just sort of a dreamy mystery person who, once again, a lot of these ones. I think of her as a woman, but she's androgynous. A lot of times I draw kind of androgynous figures, especially when it's just a face. And some people think they're male and some people think they're female, but she's female. She's got the Dan DiCarlo, Archie Comics, crazy eyes. Love. This is just my series of figure drawings in love t-shirts. It just kind of came out. I don't know how I get these ideas sometimes, but I now have a whole series of, probably came out of my Message T comic strip. And I decided to make it into a romance comic cover. But anyway, there's a couple of things for you to check out, and everyone have a good week out there.